Good evening and welcome to the Greater Rutland County Supervisory Union July 27th meeting. If you'd all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The first order of business is the approval of the agenda. A motion would be in order to approve the agenda. Motion by Mike. Is there any discussion?
Can remove the board retreat date under new business.
Sure. Sorry, I shouldn't be swallowing that hard. Okay, with that deletion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. General public comment. Is there any member of the public present that would like to speak? We have no public with us here, and I don't see any member of the public on either. Moving on to approval of the June 22nd minutes. A motion would be in order to approve the minutes. Any discussion?
Yeah, the only thing I noticed on here was that under board members, it says Cara Haynes. It says Corey Valley. It should be Well Springs.
Okay. Okay. Any other corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Approval of warrants. You receive your warrants via GRCSU email. All questions should be directed to Lewis. A motion will be in order to approve the warrants.
So moved.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We have a packet of contract recommendations in your packet for professional staff, Carrie Gardner, Kristen Hansen, and Linda McEwen. Support staff, Thomas McKenzie, Ellen Coyle, Ashley Arnold, Lauren Martell, and extracurricular. Pretty much all of the extracurricular are teachers working over the summer, it looks like, right?
Correct, yes.
So Wendy Trombetta, Patricia Thomas, Julie Walensky, Carrie Gardner, Kara Bailey, Christina Roach, Kevin White, Margaret McDonald, Rebecca Eggleston, Catherine Daly, Larissa McDough, Robin Aiken, Joshua Bunker, Lauren Lozelle, Katie Oakman, Jamie Ross, Phyllis Correo, Suzanne Brewster, and Natalie Holt. Any questions about those recommendations?
Yes, I just wanted to add for Carrie Gardner, her work will be done also during the course of the year as part of the AWARE grants. She will be acting as like a kind of a school family liaison, so helping out with communication and things along those lines. So
in Wells, in Middletown.
Wells in Middletown, correct. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I had a question. So how did this position come to be? I mean,
so this is a position that actually was in existence last year. We just didn't have anyone to fill it. And as we were staffing and we saw that Carrie, the interventionist, we also looked through her resume. Liz Colte and Rick Beal approached myself and Lisa to think of, we thought it would be a good idea to also see if she could act in this capacity. And as we discussed, we found that that one, it would not impact her duties as an interventionist, but also would be fulfilling the true spirit of the AWARE grant and what the partnership with between the schools and the community. So So this is something, like I said, that I think that Wells and Middletown would have liked to have had last year, but just didn't have one, so they've had someone who is qualified, and I think will do a great job. So,
Excellent. I think it's exciting. Thank you.
All right, a motion will be in order to approve the contract recommendations.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Resignation, I guess I did this a little backwards, because we just approved her. She's moving to Quarry Valley, so she's resigning her position, Heidi Daub, at the Proctor Elementary. So a motion will be in order to approve the resignation.
We'll move.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. You also have in your packet the vacancies that currently are still in existence for open positions. We have printouts of the monthly reports. Lewis is not with us this evening. He'll be with us next month. Any old business? Any new business? So I had a couple things for new business. One, Bill's joining us tonight virtually, but he's going to join us, this is just informational, in August, and he'll provide like a snapshot for special ed, what he's kind of seen, what he's thinking, moving forward. So I think it would just be nice for everyone. He's going to come to the meeting for everyone to meet him, just kind of get his take on where we are. He's also going to join us in September at the board retreat and kind of give us like a bigger picture, maybe like what we look like, special ed moving forward, a little more of a forecast out. So there's that. And then, excuse me, the executive committee's been meeting, and we've been working on the superintendent evaluation form, looking at old evaluations, and looking at some others that Chris has provided to us. And what we would like to do is the executive committee evaluate Chris for this year, for 2022. And then we would come back to this board and discuss and look at, as we are creating this evaluation tool, if we think it needs to be tweaked here, what it is, like that.
The new one you're working.
Yeah, the new one that we're working on. We're meeting in August 3rd. So just looking for consensus from this board that would allow the executive committee to evaluate Chris now in FY22, so there's an evaluation form in his file.
I think that's great. I don't know if you need a...
Well, because historically the boards do it, then we come back here.
Right.
So this would be a little different, just having board chairs
I'll make
do
a
it.
motion for that, for this year.
Any discussion to allow the executive committee to evaluate Chris this year?
I would just request that when, after you all meet, that maybe for the next district board meetings, like each chair can just, or at least for Quarry Valley, just again, because we have new people, just kind of talk about the process, nothing specific to Chris's evaluation, but how that works. And
Yeah, so I think it will
like
be...
2 minutes of...
Yeah, I think it would be better if, once we evaluate, then come back to this board, have this board kind of look
Yeah.
at whatever tool we have crafted in our little black pot.
Yeah.
And then to kind of get in, see what, everybody here thinks. And then we could, talk to board members about that.
Yeah.
The other piece we spoke about at our board retreat and also at the executive committee meeting is next year in March, after we reorganize, and this is particularly pertinent, I guess, for Quarry Valley, because we do have it seems like new members, and now we're getting new members again because people move or whatever, that in like April, we were going to have someone from the VSBA come down and like for our April meeting, have them talk about, this is what your role is as a board member. This is what your relationship with the superintendent is. This is the superintendent's role, you know, because I think sometimes those things start to get blurred a little bit. And for new members, I think they're a little hesitant sometimes to start or get involved or really jump in because they're not really sure, you know, what it is. So
One way or the other, they're either very shy or they think that it contains more power than it actually does.
yeah, so just kind of like as a refresher.
I think it's great.
Okay. Meredith? Can't hear you.
Your mic's not on.
Do you recommend to your new board members to access the VSBA new membership information?
Yep.
Because there's a whole lot in there
Yes.
to learn exactly what the role of a board member is.
So Meredith, I'll just, one of the projects for myself this summer is, excuse me, is working on a new board member orientation packet that would have a variety of information both on the SU level as well as local districts. I did share that with Christine the other day. We have this, I am going to share this with the executive committee just for first look, first glance. But actually, there's a lot of information I think that all board members would benefit from too, because it'll include like financial reports, copy of minutes throughout the past year, have missions, vision, you know, as we work on strategic plan, reports of graduate, it's going to be all encompassing. So when a new board member enters, they will have this wealth of information, as well as I think right now I have 30-some questions on FAQ, but something is similar like, well, how do I add an item to the agenda? And it kind of explains what the process is for that, and what do I do if a parent or a community member comes to me outside of a board meeting with a complaint or an issue? What's the chain of command? So we're trying to provide a good number of FAQs for a board member who is new to how to handle a variety of situations, as well as both inside and outside the board meeting. So
That's great. I just want, and maybe other board members aren't aware of this, but that's all on the VSBA website currently, and there are actual programs that you can attend, and I believe since COVID and all of our online work, that you can participate in these programs remotely and, you know, ask questions in a way that is not with your board or superintendent. In some respects, it might be more less putting yourself in an obvious position. So I've attended them not only as a new board member, but as an existing board member, and I think they're very worthwhile for existing board members to attend.
I agree, Meredith. I think that's to be reiterated in the packet, but also in superintendent reports as well, about training opportunities. I know there's the lunchtime, I think it's the VSBA, that's like the school U, or the 1 hour pop-ins. I know there's one August 4th on Robert's Rules, which I think would be important for just new board members to have a better understanding what Robert's Rules is. So, but thank you.
Okay, so Lynette had a motion on the floor to allow the executive committee to evaluate Chris this year. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes. Any other new business? The next meeting will be August 24th. If there's nothing else to come before the board,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
at 6:14. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.